Hey guys, how's it going? It's Al. DraftKings week 1 coming up very quickly. We're a week away from week 1, so we're going to start talking about all of the running backs on this slate. I've got 9 for you that I think, based on salary, playing time, expectation, value, all those things. This is not like the top 10 based on raw projection. This is my top 10. Well, it's not a top 10. It's a top 9. Yeah, we have 9. I have 9 of them for you, not 10. Not because there aren't 10, but because I wrote 9 down. So it's a top 9 video. I'm sorry. I'm literally the worst. We're going to go through. It's based on not in like a total order. Some are values. I tried to mix in some guys that are sub 6K, some guys in the mid-range, as well as some high-priced ones as well. So you have a nice poo-poo platter to choose from. So thank you guys for watching. The quarterback video is already out. The wide receiver video comes out tomorrow. So check all of them out. And I appreciate you guys being here. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, ring the notifications bell, because as you know, I come out with a ton of content throughout the NFL season. I don't want you to miss any of it. Let me know which running backs you like best that I did not mention in the replies down below. And let's go.
He's a legend.
The week 1 Smiz Gang Listener League is up. Go to smizzle.tv/links. That is where you will find the link to the Listener League, as well as links to everything else that I do. My Instagram, we're live on Twitch a whole lot during the week, 4 or 5 days a week on Twitch. Go drop a follow over there so you get notified when I'm live. It's easier to get to know you from over there in the live stream. We can actually have conversations than here in the replies. Follow me on Instagram. Make sure you join the Smiz Gang Discord, where you get special access to the VIP rooms if you're a channel member here on YouTube for $5 a month. And make sure you get in the Smiz Gang Listener League every Monday. On the Fantasy Football channel, we do the recap video where we're going to shout out the winner. $10 to enter, 3 max. Best tournament on DraftKings, because there is absolutely no rake. Make sure that you go to the rewards, get your missions, because if you enter 1 a day, you can triple the amount of crown bonus that you get, which is essentially rake back on a rake-free tournament, so you can make DraftKings pay you. It'll cost you less than $10 to enter if you do it that way. Make sure that you do all the things. Let's fill it. If we do, it'll get bigger next week. First running back on the list, Austin Ekeler, highest total game on the slate against Miami and at home. Clearly a 5-box running back. One thing that we are very, loyal to on this channel. Running backs who get the inside the 5 carries, are involved in the passing game, are at home, are favored, all of the good things, right? That's what we want. We want opportunity. And few running backs in the league get as much consistent opportunity as Austin Ekeler did. Yes, a lot of his value is tied up in the fact that he had 20 touchdowns, including the playoffs last year. But realistically speaking, you have such a high floor. Targets are worth so much more than our rush attempts. He gets enough rush attempts. We don't need 25 rush attempts when we get this amount of volume. You're going to have to pay for him if you want to get him. It's going to be a premium stack, considering how expensive either his quarterback or Tua are, considering how expensive Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle are. But I think you're going to see a lot of secondary Chargers Miami stacks, and they're going to involve Ekeler in some way. Yes, you could get cheaper going with the tight end or one of the wide receivers on the Chargers, but Austin Ekeler is the premium route to go with that, and I think he's fine for cash games if that's the route that you want to choose in your head-to-heads or 50-50s. Joe Mixon at 6,800 gets an awful lot of work. Just so much work. So much work. It's too easy. There's nobody else for them to go to. Now, he did kind of start to show a little bit of age. He's past that nexus where running backs have over a certain amount of touches or over a certain age, they do start to kind of decline and go down that hill. And we saw that from an efficiency standpoint last year. But from a volume aspect, especially earlier in the season, this is seemingly unmatched throughout the league. He's going to be one of the highest volume running backs. He's going to have over 75% of the snaps and touches at running back. He's somebody who's too big to fail at this point, right? So because volume is the one thing that leads to fantasy production at that running back position when it comes to a floor. If he happens to stumble into the end zone, something he only did 1 time in the first 5 games last year, people were complaining, but we knew that was going to turn. And then you see over the rest of the season, those touchdowns did come back where they weren't there before. If things normalize, as they do tend to do on a larger sample, 6,800 is right there in a prime spot to go after somebody like Joe Mixon in week 1. Ken Walker III is even cheaper at 6,000. I know he's not going to be involved a lot in the passing game, right? I don't think he can't. We've seen him get 4 and 8 and 5 targets and 3 targets and be very efficient with that last season. It's not like he can't catch. It's just not how they run offense there. They want to utilize their wide receivers. Yes, they drafted JSN, but he's out with wrist surgery. He broke his wrist the last week of preseason. So this offense is going to operate the same way it did before. Yes, they drafted Charbonnet. No, I don't think Charbonnet is going to garner more than 35% of the snaps. And no, running backs don't typically get over 65% of the snaps and touches. But Ken Walker has the highest value touches in this offense, being the inside the 5 touches. And he's one of those guys, like a Jonathan Taylor, a Nick Chubb. Ken Walker has that big playability. Like if this was Madden and it was a special trait, he has that big play trait. 60-yard touchdown, 30-yard long, 74-yard touchdown, 69-yard touchdown was very nice in week 5 against New Orleans. He's somebody who can break a game open by himself, and with the 100-yard bonus and everything else that goes along with it, Ken Walker has as high a ceiling as any other running back does on this slate, but also has a higher difference between his floor and his ceiling because of the lack of consistent usage in the passing. If you want to take advantage of one of our partnerships here on the channel, go to Fantasy Labs at smizzle.tv/labs with an uppercase L. The best value option on this is right here. The 6-month all access includes every sport that they do when in season. Currently, MLB, any golf tournaments, NHL and NBA when they come back, MMA every single weekend, NASCAR, USFL, esports, and college football, which overlaps with NFL. You can go with an all sports plan per month. You can go with the NFL only if that's all you play with in DFS. For $40 a month. All of these are exclusive to our viewers. So go to smizzle.tv/labs with that uppercase L. The link will be down below in the description. If you click show more, you will find that. Aaron Jones at 6,300 seems like he is going to be just fine against Chicago, who, yes, they've done a lot of work to that defense. It's going to be a 2 or a 3 year project to turn that entire program around. They will be improved, but they will still be bad defensively. And the Green Bay Packers are going to lean heavily on the run because of the first-year quarterback, Jordan Love. I don't think that they're going to throw it like suddenly 35, 40 times a game. It's not how they were operating offensively last year with Hall of Famer Aaron Rodgers under center. They threw it not a lot. I think they're going to run it even more this year, and they're going to split time between Dillon and Jones, which is fine when you consider that the price is down at 6,300. Jones should be the one that garners more targets, giving you a higher floor on a week-to-week basis. Still has this massive upside. We saw a 26-point week, 22, 28, and 21 against the Rams, so he has big upside with an accelerated floor and, in my opinion, more usage for both him and Dillon this season. Ramondre Stevenson remains Ramondre Stevenson. No, I do not think that there is going to be a problem with Ezekiel Elliott. It does not harm Ramondre's floor. I think that Ramondre's floor is kind of locked in with the fact that this is about the usage he was going to get. This is the weeks where still Damian Harris was around and he was getting 12, 14. This was the week that Harris was out. 5 targets, 12 to 15 carries. If he can get 4 to 8 targets a week, 12 to 11 to 14, 11 to 15 carries, he is still going to be a tremendous player. Big time upside in terms of big playability. I agree that his ceiling could be capped on an any week basis because of the presence of Ezekiel Elliott possibly stealing, let's say, 50% of the inside the 5 touches. I still think that it's not going to be a one-man job, even though that has been how Belichick has done things in the past. I don't think Ezekiel is that good or better than Ramondre when it comes to short yardage efficiency. So take that for what it is. He is the safe play at 7,000 in terms of floor with big time upside as well. But yes, you could be pissed off if you get vultured at the goal line. Josh Jacobs, 7,700. He's back, signed. He gives you a $700 discount going from Austin Ekeler to Josh Jacobs. They do play at Denver, so it's a road situation here as opposed to playing at home. I don't think that his volume is going to change from where it was last year. They brought him back. They paid him a lot of money. What did he get? $12 million? It's a lot for a running back specifically. So high floor, high ceiling option, but you do have to pay for it. He's going to pop in a lot of different projection models for week 1, just based on the average and the median of what he did last year. And the fact that this game could be one that's closely contested in shootout with 2 very high volume players on the Raiders offense, one being Devontae Adams, the other being Josh Jacobs. And volume is such a key to everything that we want to attack at the running back position. I think that there are guys who are cheaper that we could get to, but we're going to stay at the high end here with 8,000 for Bijan Robinson playing against Arizona. Arizona's a dumpster fire. They're trying to get Caleb next year. We always know how that works out. It never works out. However, they might just be bad enough to pull it off. we're going to have to see. Bijan, in my opinion, is going to get the lion's share of the work. You don't spend that amount of draft equity on a running back like Bijan Robinson, knowing what he can do for you, and then aren't you worried about Bros? Aren't you worried about Cordell Patterson? Aren't you worried about Altier? What a guy! I can't even remember the guy's name. That's how much I don't think he's going to steal work from Bijan Robinson. And aren't you worried about the fact that they came out with their depth chart and Bijan is ranked 3rd? No, I'm not worried about that right now. If we get word as next Friday, next Saturday, next Sunday morning approaches that they're not going to utilize Bijan in week 1, then yeah, don't play him. It's the same thing as somebody said on the Joe Burrow call out on the video that I put out on week 1 quarterbacks. Well, Burrow, we have to monitor because he has an injury. As always, if he's not going to play, don't play him. It's that simple. It's my opinion as we sit here on the 29th of August that Bijan Robinson is going to be a 20 opportunity guy week in, week out for this Falcons offense, so long as he can pass protect on the 12 times that they throw the ball a game. Samaje Perine is a fantastic value option at 5,100. We needed a couple of cheap players. He is that guy to me. I think that the Broncos are going to bring along Javonte Williams really slowly early in the season, which means to me that it should be a 50-50 split between Perine and Williams. I don't think they're going to give Williams 60 to 70% of the snaps and touches. I do think that this new coaching staff with Sean Payton went out and got Samaje Perine. Believe what they do, right? So in the offseason, when teams go out and get a guy, when they target a front office, target somebody, knowing that they have something in-house, and they go out and get a guy to play a job or to do a job and to play a role, it's going to be that guy who they're going to hitch their wagon to and give them snaps and touches. Otherwise, they look like fools. So Samaje Perine, in my opinion, looks like he is on tap for about, let's say 7 to 10 carries. 7, 8, 9 would not surprise me. And 4, 5, 6, 7 targets also would not surprise me. We've seen enough from Sean Payton in the past to know that he does utilize a 2 running back system as long as he has 2 running backs he can use. We saw it with Mark Ingram along with Alvin Kamara. I think that Javonte Williams, when fully healthy, projects like or better than somebody like an Alvin Kamara did, considering that he can handle more pounding than Alvin Kamara ever could and really carry it 17 to 20 times, as well as handle those 5, 6 targets. But I don't think they're going to give him that sort of workload, at least for the first half of the season, which means Samaje Perine has a fantastic opportunity against this Raiders defense that is going to create check down opportunities. The Broncos have already lost a couple of target guys. They may not be with Jerry Jeudy for week 1 because of the hamstring. Tim Patrick already out there, relying on a rookie in Mims, who is extremely cheap in week 1, which to me means that Samaje Perine is going to have a definite role on this team. And Nick Chubb at 8,200 is way too good. He can blow a slate wide open. They're going to lean on him, and we're not going to have that problem where he's going to be without, right? He's not going to be without touches. I don't think he's going to be without targets. Kareem Hunt is gone. Jerome Ford has been injured the entire preseason. 25 touches incoming for Nick Chubb is what I'm projecting for him, and 8,200 is just not enough. You know what? I said 9, but we're going to go 10. We're going to go 10. I believe he's on the cover too. I don't know how I missed him on my sheet because he's right here. Rashad White is 5,500. This seems absurd. 5,500 seems ridiculously absurd, considering that there is nobody else there to steal snaps and touches. 70% of them for the running back room seems like it is incoming for Rashad White at 5,500. He is going to be extremely talented in the passing game. We saw what he could do there as advertised last year from what he projected as coming out of college, and now he's the guy in a one-man show. Minnesota's defense was bad last year. We attacked them constantly. Until they prove otherwise, we're going to keep attacking them. Now, if they can get out there and score a lot of points, which I believe that Minnesota can, and there's enough weapons around Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield is 100% a system quarterback. He needs things to go along. He's not going to improvise well. He's going to roll it to his right and throw it out of bounds. But if he is able to operate within a system with guys like Mike Evans, so long as Mike Evans stays with the team for week 1, there's rumors that he may be traded. We'll see. I think he's going to stay there. And Godwin. And checking down to Rashad White, there is certainly opportunities for him to be a 5-6 week target guy week in, week out, as well as getting 12 to 16 carries a game, the perfect usage for any running back. And he's only 5,500 as opposed to somebody like Austin Ekeler, who's clearly better, but 2,900 more. So if you can afford to get to Austin Ekeler, pairing him with Rashad White gives you a nice average salary for running backs with a high floor and an equally high ceiling. Thank you guys for watching. Look out for another video right there.
He's a legend.